Boom! Alright, Bourbon Quest. It's your host, Bourbon Steve. Q's MIA tonight. I'm still going to open up his treat in case he decides to join the show. I don't blame him. This Trader Joe's Advent calendar has been less than amazing. So I don't blame him. But we'll go ahead and open it up because it is what it is. I don't think he likes these treats. I don't blame him. Alright. If he decides to come, they're here. Alright. But it's time to get into my whiskey treat. Remember, stay hydrated, my friends. So, well, we've done a lot of great shit, but this is Sam Houston, 14-year-old, 98 proof. So I've had 14 year. That's this one right here. 15. I can't remember if I had 16 or not. Anyways, I think they're good. I think they're overpriced and overhyped for what I can remember. I'm not even sure if I'm going to continue on the Sam Houston trail. They've not been bad. It's just at what they're basically priced at about $10 per year, so $150, $150, or $140, $150, $160. I think if I've had all three, I know I've had at least the 14 and 15. I'm trying to remember if I have a 16. I sometimes get Sam Houston and Calumet Farms confused, and understandably so, because I think they're very similar. And I think they're actually both overpriced for what they offer. And I know I might be in the minority on that, but with where everything else is going with bourbon and prices and ages, it just gets harder and harder to justify that. When I can think of a dozen bottles at $80 or less that I probably prefer over these, higher age dated Sam Houston's or Calumet Farms. I'm done with Calumet Farms, and I'm on the verge of being done with Sam Houston. Not quite there yet, but I think I'm on the verge. And it's not that it's bad, it's just like at its price point and what it offers, I'm becoming harder and harder to justify that. Let me know if you're in the same boat, because I've been on my Bourbon Quest now for a full 2 years. Yeah, started in 2020. We're right now here at the end of 2022. I've accumulated. Well, I've purchased since I started in basically March of 2020. That was either as phenomenal or a problem, because I started my Bourbon Quest in basically March of 2020 when the pandemic first hit. So we're a full 2 years in. The channel's a little over a year old, and in that time I've purchased 680 bottles of bourbon. And I enjoy most of it, but and I've gotten a lot of great stuff, a lot of rare stuff, things I've really enjoyed. But then, there's that other part of me that's like, prices just keep getting higher. I'm not even sure if the product is getting better. It's all about the chase and the FOMO and yada yada yada, and that's one of the things I've been trying to do, at least over the last year, is trying to narrow those things down to where let's just say Jim Beam. They probably got like 10 different expressions. And my thing is, okay, if you've got 10, let's narrow that down to my two favorite of yours, and we'll buy those. Um, yeah, if you're Heaven Hill, you probably got like 7 different expressions. Let's narrow those down to 3 or 4 of my top favorites and get rid of the others because, yeah, and especially now where everybody does, whether it's Booker's doing 4 releases a year or Elijah Craig and Larceny doing 3 expressions a year, or your one-off Blood Oaths or your one-off Wild Turkey Masters Keep. There's 1 expression a year. It just gets to be tiring and consuming, and half the time they're worth it, half the time they're not, and 100% of the time you can buy something that you already know you love for under $80. So why are you chasing something that's a one-time release for $200 that you may or may not like? That's kind of where I'm at in my bourbon quest. Is like, for instance, on these annual releases, am I going to continue to buy Booker's? Yeah, because I'm a big Booker's fan. I think they're all good, and every 1 out of 4 is great. So, am I willing to take that risk? Yeah, but then you get, a one-off. Well, you get, like, for instance, I'm done with Yellowstone on their annual releases. I had the 19, I had the 20, I had the 21, and I thought they got worse, and none of them were great. And so, like, for this year's 2022, I don't even remember if I've not seen many reviews on it, because maybe a lot of other people like myself have said, I'm done with Yellowstone. I'm done with Yellowstone. Not only their regular bourbon, I'm done with their special releases, because I had 3, none of them delivered. Actually, they got worse. So why am I going to continue down that rabbit hole? Which I'm not a rabbit hole fan either. So there you go. And then, the big thing about Yellowstone too is I think a lot of the hype just kind of came from the TV show. Was that planned? No. Was it happenstance? Yes. But it's not good. Alright, and this Sam Houston I think is actually good. I haven't had it in a while, so let's try it. But is it something I'm going to chase? No. I'm trying to figure it out if I'm going to exit off like I've done Yellowstone. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Alright. Cheers, my friends. Yeah, it's good. It's sweet. I mean, it's a high rye mash bourbon, 18% rye. Yeah, I mean, it's not that I don't like it. I just don't think I can. At 98 proof, yeah, granted it's 14 years old, but I'm not a big rye fan. The rye definitely comes through on that. I don't think it's one I'm going to buy again. And I'm not saying it's bad. I just think at its price point, what it offers and what it is, its availability, I don't think I'm a big fan of it. Which, don't get me wrong, it may sound like that's a bad thing, but actually I think that's a good thing, because as I continue my bourbon quest, like I said before, I'm trying to narrow things down. Like, stop buying things that, whether it be Sam Houston or Yellowstone, that once, twice, and 3 times I haven't liked. Why are you continuing down that road when you've had you know, Jim Beams that you like, Jack Daniels that you like, Heaven Hills that you like, and I'm not saying all those, but if I like half of them or two or three out of their four or five expressions, let's focus on those. Drink what you like, drink what you love. Don't continue to buy stuff that is mediocre or not what you like, because at the end of the day, but I think that's part of my bourbon quest, is trying to figure out those things, which is why I've always bought, the Yellowstone, the Sam Houston and stuff, to give them a shot and give them even more. I mean, I'm not like a one and doneer. Well, on most things, I was a one and doneer on Sweetens Cove, but and yeah, definitely was a one and doneer on Sweetens Cove. Love you, Peyton Manning. Obviously, I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee. Was a season ticket holder all the years you were here, and big Tennessee football fan, and big Peyton Manning fan. Not only one as a football player, but number one, and secondly as a comedian, but as a whiskey producer, nah, bro, stay in your lane. but yeah, I jumped on that Sweetens Cove and then realized this is like overaged and overpriced. George Diggle, come on, bro. You're better than that. Cheers. So there's a few things like Sweetens Cove I'm one or done on. But that, I think, for most brands, I'm giving more than one shot. Like I gave at least 3 shots to their Yellowstone Tilly, and not even that, just their regular Yellowstone I'm not a fan of. I'm trying to bring myself to give Castle and Key another shot, because number one is I love Castle and Key, the distillery, refurbishing the old Taylor, the grounds are beautiful, the bottle's spectacular, but god damn it, the whiskey's freaking awful. And I think the one I had was batch 2, which I heard it was better than batch 1, and batch 2 about made me throw up in my mouth. And I hate to say that, because I think the distillery's awesome, the story's awesome, the bottle's awesome, the whiskey is crap. And I'm hoping it gets better. I'm at least waiting until they get to double digits on their batches, but that's one, like, if it didn't have everything else going for it, the distillery, the history, the bottle, I would be one and done on that. But I'm at least willing to wait till they get to double digits on their batches. Give them at least one more shot. But even Company, which is local to me in Townsend, which is like 20 minutes away from me. And I love Jeff Arnett. What was he? 20 plus years at Jack Daniels. Obviously, I'm a big Jack Daniels fan. I don't know if I'll ever buy anything from Company again unless I see something extraordinary or whatever, because their first product they put out, I thought it was like 50, 55 bucks. It was awful. And so, yeah, there again, I'm willing to give things a chance, and usually more than one chance. But it's 3 at the most. But I'm done with Company, even that, and that was one chance, unless I hear something down the road or different, or someone like Jason C. at Bash and Drum giving some extraordinary shout out to them. Otherwise, I'll just drink Chattanooga whiskey. I'll just drink Chattanooga whiskey 91. I'll just drink Four Roses Small Batch Select, Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof, Michter's American Whiskey. I can go on and on. And those are all, under 80 bucks. Smoke Wagon, uncut, unfiltered, under 80 bucks. As opposed to all these other bullshit stuff. So, I don't know. It's an interesting time, I think, in whiskey, because all these places, in Buffalo Trace, by far probably the best value at MSRP, which I know you can't always get it at that, but if you're a decent bourbon quester, you can. But, and the multi-million dollars of expansions going on not only at Buffalo Trace, Jim Beam, Four Roses, Woodford. I mean, pretty much anybody in Kentucky's doing $50 million or more expansions, which I think I'm starting to see that come to fruition as being, if not more bottles, more frequency. So I think that's a good sign. But cheers, I don't know about this Sam Houston. It's good. It's probably, at best, I would say try before you buy. It's not great. And I'm contemplating whether I want to even continue buying another one. So we'll see. But yeah, and I think that's where I'm at in my bourbon quest is, when I first started, I was buying anything and everything from every distillery that was worth, two dams. And now it's like, you got to bring something more to the table. And even if you're a legendary producer, whether it be Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, Heaven Hill, whatever, even those, top tier mega producers, I'm taking your lineup of 10 and narrowing it to the 3 that I like the best, and I'm done with your other 7, because why am I buying your inferior products, at least to me and my palate, when I can just continue to buy or stockpile your top 3 that I like. So that's where I'm at in my bourbon quest. Let me know where you're at in your bourbon quest. Love you guys. Thanks for subscribing, and if you haven't done so, why not subscribe now? And then do yourself a favor, ring that bell for notifications, smash that like button, leave a comment. Let me know where you're at in your bourbon quest. Are you continuing to try and buy anything and everything from whatever, or are you where I'm kind of at, trying to narrow those things down, understand what you like, not necessarily what you don't dislike, but like I said, a Jim Beam has 10 expressions. Even though I may not hate them all, why am I going to continue to buy all 10 of them? I'm going to buy your top 3, and then the other 7, I'll leave them for somebody else. But that's kind of where I'm at. Let me know where you're at. Love you guys. That's a wrap. Gotta go. Love you. And remember, as always, my wish for you is that all your bourbon quest dreams come true. That's a wrap. Sam Houston, you're on the verge of dying in my book. We'll see. Not done quite yet, but we're on the verge. That's a wrap. See you next time. Bye-bye.